Jen boys, so in last 2 days we had been covering up the stage 1 and stage 2, and we had started stage 2 because stage 2 is classified into 3 parts. One was psychology, GTO and interview, and we had completed psychology, and then we had also introduced GTO, and some of the activities were already mentioned. Let us see that what is left now, and we talk about what is the meaning of basic series, confirmatory series and final series. So, in basic series we all know it is an integration stage, because all group members are integrated right together and they are given common objective. There are 4 tasks. The first one is group discussion. We all know we will talk about on every part on different slides. So, group discussion, then group planning exercise, it is also called the group military planning exercise. The next is progressive group task or PGT, and group obstacle race or snake race. Now, we had discussed why it is leaderless task and what it means and how you have to operate and control the group. The next we will talk about one by one. The first task is group discussion, and we all know that you all are seated in a arc-2 arrangement or semicircle or in a circle. GT will be there in front of you or from the behind, so he can assess you better. Okay. Next, talk about the general guidelines. It is a first task in basic series. It means that this is the first time that you are interacting or you are performing in front of GTO, and this is the first time you interact each and everyone, so you can leave some kind of impression on them. Now, the subject of discussion will be controversial. What it means controversial? It is not universally accepted topic are given, like we all know that the supremacy of democracy or the supremacy of judiciary or autonomy of judiciary, these kind of topics are not given. The topic which are controversial means euthanasia is a controversial topic, because euthanasia is a 2 of type. Its type, one is active, second is passive, voluntary, involuntary, and maybe the we have surrogacy in India. So, the legal provision of surrogacy, that can be the topic of discussion. Okay, so, topic will be controversial, means the all gentlemen will have different opinion, and they will start giving their own opinion that can counter or maybe contrary to each other. So, there can be a heated argument, and the discussion may go informal. So, it is not a formal discussion like we see in Raj Sabha. The panelists come and they speak very gracefully, giving each and every one time, but here the situation will be different, because every person will try to jump in the middle or may try to cut you down, and that is the actual environment of SSB. There you have to learn that how to speak in front of them, and there is no conclusion. Once you discuss enough, the GTO will intervene, and then he will give you the second topic. Okay. The next is the aim at exploration amongst the candidate, exploration of ideas, views and the opinion that you have. So, it is a fight of your statistics and your experience that you have seen the society, the things are happening around you, the way you see them with your own perspective, that is the exploration. So, for that what you have to do, we will discuss that how to improve your discussion right. The next is make impression on each other, it is a part of it. So, how it is conducted? It is conducted in 2 phases. The first phase is there are 2 topics are given, and only one topic is discussed for 15 to 20 minutes, and here the 2 topics are given. It means you have to select one, and how will you select? You have to convince the group that why topic number so and so is better than the other, and for that the GTO will give you 1 minute, and once you conclude that the topic you want to discuss, then there will be further 20 minutes of discussion. Once the first phase is discussed, then he will give you the second phase. The second phase having only one topic, it means you have option choice, and willy-nilly you have to discuss that. Okay. Again the time will be measured. Understand boys? There was also discussion in PPDT. There they cheated right actually, because the time is mentioned 15 to 20 minutes, but they give you only 5 minutes, but here the time is there 15 to 20 minutes, and exactly you will be given that much of time. So, you will have enough opportunity to participate in the group discussion. So next is, let's see that how phase 1 is conducted and what kind of topics are given. You know that the day before yesterday we had the 75th anniversary of UNSC. So there was actually in the address of Indian Premier, Mr. Modi, he highlighted many important points about the reforms, and one important reform was UNSC, right, extension of UNSC members. So India is a strong volunteer for this. So what is the role here that India can play and why India can strive for it. So the topic 1 is, there is a proposal to increase the member of UNSC, and India has been striving hard to get permanent seat in the UNSC. And why do you think that India is a strong, the other given the strongest factor which will attribute towards India's securing the seat in UNSC. So first lead is the military and finance and diplomatic contribution to the United Nations organization. The second is India recognized as a strong democracy, represent global population, and third is India emerging as a regional superpower. And of course we all know that all three factors are important for securing India's seat in UNSC, but you have to choose one, and then you will stick to one and you will keep propagating your ideas related to that. The second topic is that what is the scope of Q&D, that is quadrilateral security dialogue, and should India militarize it to counter the Chinese aggression. So this is the second topic. You all know that quadrilateral members are India, US, Japan, and of course Australia, and Australia has been invited, right, in this military exercise. So it is actually India is trying to use it to counter the Chinese aggression. So is it a good decision or not, that you have to discuss. So in topic 1 and 2 you have to decide which topic you want to discuss. Once you convince the group, then the GTO will permit you to discuss further 15 to 20 minutes. Okay. Once the discussion is completed, then the second phase is start. There is only one topic is given, and there you have to discuss. The topic second will be a little bit easier, so each and every one of you can participate. Like the topic is here, like abrogation of Article 370 on August 5, 2019, will this executive order ameliorate the regional integrity, and you have to speak yes or no, right. So that is the second topic. So I think so all of you are aware of the special status to the state of Jammu and Kashmir, and now it is no longer the special, it is union territory. Okay. So what are the things that you have to keep in mind? We'll discuss that, right, gradually. I want to see that what you have been feeling. So without further wasting our time, let's discuss, make actually meaningful comments so I can look at them and go for that. So first is generalize the complexity. The topic is of course a little bit complex in nature, and some of the interlocutors are not able to understand, and if in the entire group some of the members are not able to understand, if the person who initiates the group can generalize the complexity of the topic. For an example, the euthanasia is the topic. You know that first you should know the term, then explain it, and then give that what is your opinion regarding the lead. Like the topic is, should India allow active euthanasia? So it is yes or no, because India has allowed passive euthanasia. But understanding that what is the meaning of euthanasia? Euthanasia is mercy killing. So explain it, how Supreme Court has given its verdict, and then write what are the flaws in there. So you can make the topic quite clear, so every one of you can understand, and then you can have good discussion. So what is the important fact here, that you bring quite unique ideas, and those ideas are not discussed earlier. That is the key. You can say that punches, you can bring it, and then people can go for that discussion. You should not digress from the topic. The topic is something else, you are discussing something else, like the topic is Article 370 and you are discussing Pakistan role over there. So there is a problem then, and if some of the speaker actually copy the previous speaker's ideas, and those are boring, of course, those are called trite, and they do not actually leave any kind of impression on the GTO. So study well, make your own opinion, and then you can use them in the group discussion. So next is practical approach. Practical approach means you of course study a lot of things, and you bring the statistics, data, that is of course accepted, but you have to generalize it, as you can see in your day-to-day life. Those ideas should be brought in the group discussion, so every person can feel them, and then they can be agreed or disagreed. And are you receptive or non-receptive? It means that you hear somebody and once you give other people chance to speak and then they make the point, and are you agreed on those points or not? You are adamant on your opinion, it does not mean that you are having quite a strong lead. It means that you have to respect their ideas and then try to give your better ideas. So, you can counter it by the logic. So, it is a war of logics, I can say. Okay. The next is dominant or cogent. If I say that some of the speaker or some of the actually aspirant are repeaters, or they have been harshly trained in the different academies, and they actually do not allow other speaker to participate in the group discussion, those are called dominant. And if you are dominating the group, it means that you are not allowing other speaker to participate, and if other speakers are not able to participate, what is the meaning of group? Group means each and every member of the group should participate. So, you have to allow everyone to speak, not to be dominant, right? And you have to be a little bit persuasive. Somebody asks, somebody gives some kind of point, you are agreed on that, and then give your own logic. So, what matters here, that is quality of participation. Every time I come up with this quality, not quantity, means you speak all the time, you do not allow anyone to speak, and you are considered dominant, and you feel it that okay, I have done a lot of work. So, I am using this one, that means live long and prosper, but those people will, because they will live long in SSB, because they will keep coming in SSB, because they focus on quantity. So, do not focus on quantity, focus on quality. So, only some very less number of participation is required, but give a very logic point. So, everyone can get convinced. That is the important fact. When you speak, the quality of your speech should maintain, it should last at least, you speak for only 5 to 10 seconds and you are just saying I am agreed, or let somebody speak, you are just actually passively participating in the group discussion. You have to be actively, when you speak, all the group member got to be serious and they got to be silent when you speak, and you have to control as such. So, that is your quality of participation. Next is content of perspective, that is generated. It is not some kind of pill I can give you or anyone can give you. So, it can be built. The content of perspective is built while long experience of study, knowing the things, your curiosity, that matters here. And if you can see the content of perspective, it is generated by reading habit, while like reading novel, reading newspaper, magazine, watching documentaries, right, news channels like Raj Sabha, DD News, so some kind of. So, you can hear the panelist and you can make your own ideas there. Next is art of advocacy, means you advocate any certain point. That point, the manner which you are participating, the manner in which you are defending your, actually not a client, but your point, that is what matters here. So, you must have heard that how advocate or any lawyer protects his or her client. The argument he brings, the constitutional or legal framework of provisions he brings, the same wise you have to bring those kind of logic in the group. So, everyone can understand, yes, you are right there, and even your opposition can get agreed. They will smile, I know. Next is impression. Impression is not about that you can leave or you can dance there, it is something that you have to be quite decent on your talk, right, your art of speaking. Second, your content of perspective or knowledge, that is how you can impress other people. And of course, if you are able to impress the candidates there, definitely you will leave impression on the GTO. Okay. Others' reaction, it is also important, because all the time when you give any kind of controversial views which are not accepted and all the people are disagreed, and those kind of actually reactions are counted. So, try to be more logical, sensible, and the other people should react positively, right, for your views. Next is manner of contribution. So, manner of contribution, you know that because you are participating, but you are participating for your own sake, you do not care about others at all, but it is not the leader means. The leader is, of course, he leads with an example, but also give enough room for other to participate. So, that is why you have to bring other people, those have not spoken yet can be brought in the group discussion, and they should be promoted or encouraged by you, but unless you should have spoken nicely, then you do not participate first and then you are promoting other, it means that you are participating passively there. But first you participate well, then if you feel it that I have spoken enough, let other people speak, then you can encourage other. Sometimes the group goes a little bit brawl and people do not listen each other, and they start talking very heated arguments. The jangling is to be there, then you can detense it, right, and by just persuading every one of them that what is the importance of group discussion and how you can tackle this. It shows some kind of social intelligence, that how to, like when you are emotionally agitated, how your mother convinces you to be calm, something like that you can do right there. So people can come on the track and they can discuss what they are assigned for. Next is raised level of discussion. It is there because the group should not go digress, and when you give your point and you bring new element in the discussion, so people start talking about that. That is what leaving the or raising the bar in the discussion. So you can bring new points related to the topic and the people are discussing on that. That is what we needed, and of course for that you require to be having good knowledge. Next is initiate the GD, and actually it is a little bit very hyped word, because we always talk about one who initiate, one who takes the initiative gets recommended. It's not something like that. I can give you the example. If you know the topic, then you can initiate. If you are having no idea, how can you initiate? You don't know how to speak well in the group discussion, can you initiate? No, of course not. So initiative is something which shows a lot of confidence in a candidate, and how it is achieved. The first thing, that you should have the knowledge. If somebody who starts right that initiative we should allow, it is good for the country, something like that, that does not make any impression or leave any kind of impact on the group. But one who knows the topic, he can initiate about the verdict of Supreme Court, he can bring the legal provisions, why it is important, other countries he can bring, right, like the Netherlands and all those European countries has allowed. So you can bring those examples and you clarified everything, and now you have given your side. That is what we call it initiative. Initiative is not about just to speak for the first time. Okay. Next is preparing for the group discussion. Actually this is a very important part, and all of you are eager to learn that how to prepare for the GD, and I will give you some little bit very important thing, that how will start, just let me know. So preparing for the group discussion and how it is been achieved. Let us see what happens when somebody gets the call letter. Of course, this is the army or in the Navy SSB. Somebody has been called, and he is required to report at a certain place, right? Of course, at Bhopal. And what is the first step of a candidate? And you can see that. What's the first step of a candidate? The next step of a candidate is to rush to any academy. That is the problem. And that the going to the coaching for 15 days preparation, and do you really think that that coaching can make the difference? Let us see that what happens. That the coaching to the very innocent SSB aspirant tells the aspirant that okay, now we can make you fluent within 15 days. A lot of spoken or speaking classes are there, and who says that within 1 week, within 2 weeks you will be fluent and you will have great knowledge, you will be learning more than hundreds of topics, it will cover up entire the Hindu or the entire front line, those kind of, or India Today kind of magazines you will learn. That kind of knowledge can be imparted within 15 days. I think so. The smart candidate like you can understand that the person is bluffing, or this is just for the commercial purpose. That it is not possible at all. Right? Why? Because we know that. Within 15 days actually it is hard to digest. Okay. So what actually can improve you? because that is not the option. That can supplement your endeavor, but that is not the source of entire preparation. The preparation is done quite long. The first thing is read newspaper and magazine, and you have to read loud. So, whatever you have been going through, right, you will learn about it. You can make the notes, right. The first is read newspaper and magazine. What kind of? I would say the Hindu, as I have already highlighted. I am not the ambassador of the Hindu and been promoting, but it is a good newspaper literally. So, and it also gives you one important magazine, that is Frontline. You know, Frontline is there because every topic is covered very widely, and that is what you need, because if you know each and every angle, you can bring very nice points in the group discussion. The next is about online blogs. So, online blogs, do not go through Facebook and all, Instagram, go through nice blogs like PIB, Press Bureau of India, that is Government of India, right, gives very nice information about the current happening. So, you can go through, but go through very wisely, because they give a lot of content. Whatever you need, then go for that. Watch news channel. So, what kind of news channel you want to go? Do not watch any kind of very hyped or commercialized or private news channels. I would prefer you to watch Raj Sabha, DD News or Lok Sabha. There is a nice discussion, and then you can make your own perspective. If you want to watch for the international affairs, go BBC. They are the only news channels you can go through. You do not have that much of time to waste. Okay. Next is improve spoken language. And there you can improve. And how can you improve? I gave you the example that learn basic vocabulary, grammar, try to use it, speak with your friends. That is what you can do. Not every time you can, you can be in the defense facility or any coaching for the group discussion. You have friends on your phone or any kind of online platform, you can have chat, and that chat is more than required. Okay, but every day you should discuss. Okay, maybe you have friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you have, but have a nice discussion with them on any current issues, like we have current issues related to that fiscal deficit, and of course, I missed the point over there, that you have to learn some certain concepts of global politics, or about Indian politics, the global economy or Indian economy. Learn about that, what is the meaning of balance and payment, how the fiscal deficit or fiscal stimulus, right. These are the key points that the government have been focusing. How can we monetize the debt by the RBI? So, these all things that we can learn. Once you need to learn each and every concept, then this will be helped by reading newspaper, because they give nice article, so you can understand the concepts of the economy. Cram the statistics of the different reports, that World Bank, WHO or the Indian Static of India, right, they also give you a lot of reports like Census of India. So, you can go through these reports and data that can help you to weightage your views there. It can increase the weight, and that will leave very good impact on the listeners. The next is misconceptions. These are prevalent misconceptions, because they believe that is, the first is all members will speak turn by turn. Actually, it is conducted in the corporate discussion. You are going for any kind of MNC, and there is a group discussion there. There will be quite formal discussion. First person will speak, then second, then third. Here it is not something like that. Every one of them will speak simultaneously, and there will be a fish market, but you got to know how to control that, and when you control, then you can make your point. So, it is informal. Nobody is allowed to speak one by one. If you make your own strategy, because you have been living with those kids, with your friends for a long time, actually not a long time, but on the reporting day, stage 1, and of course, stage 2 has started like in the psychology. So, you have 2 or 3 days, and you mingled each other, and you made the strategy that okay, we will speak one by one, but GTO will start berating you over there, and they will speak, all of you should participate aggressively. So, there will be discussion aggressively, and you have to know that how to control it. So, nobody is allowed to speak turn by turn. Okay. And I think so, when you are a repeater and you go there and you are put in a repeaters group, right, God save you then. So, one is, next is if you are dominant, then you can get success. No, last time on the last slide we discussed that what is the importance right, to be a cogent, not to be dominant. Okay. Next is that you have to take initiative. It's also, but you can take initiative, it is icing on cake, but if you have not taken initiative, it does not mean that you are not going to recommend. You can participate later, the participation can be done on any time, okay. But there should be, because this helps you in your PPDT, because there is very less time to participate, but in group discussion 15 to 20 minutes are more than required, and I can assure you within 15 minutes you will run out of knowledge. Okay. So, the GTO then intervene that okay, you having no idea, then he will give you the second topic. So, why are you so worried about the initiative? The next is one should be very aggressive at the opinion, of course not. Okay. Why? Because you know that we need a person who need to be tranquil. Last time we discussed to be the importance how to manage the stress. If somebody is not able to manage the stress, he will be aggressive. The next is it is quality, not the quantity. You all must have crammed that. You feel it that all the time I say it, okay, you are right, you know, I am agreed upon you, no, or I am agreed with your ideas. It is not something like that. If you feel that the somebody is giving quite irrelevant point or which does not fit the discussion, you can of course criticize it, but criticize it in a decency, okay. But you should not lose the decency, you are a gentleman after all. The next myths you can see that you should speak more, means of course more participation, right. So, you will be dominating then, and I think so it is against the basic principle. So, you should speak in favor, and you know, if I say that you should speak in the favor, and not all the time you can do that, okay. Like abrogating the article 370, you feel it, okay, I should be, but you know, we should you know, declare the war with Pakistan, and again you are speaking with the favor. So, something like you need to maintain the discretion, maintaining the discretion that what is right, and then you have the knowledge. Understand, there are two factors, first is what is right and you have the knowledge, and then you can choose the topic or choose the lead that I want to speak on that. Okay. Last time we discussed the topics, and I think so you can make the lead. India is a democracy, you know that about the UNSC, biggest democracy. India has been contributing a lot in the UNO, right, and of course India is a, you know, going to be a superpower. So, there are three leads, what you want to bring, right. I would say that India has been contributing a lot in the UNO, will be the strongest factor. But I feel that you can feel about the democracy, somebody can feel about the, you know, regional superpower. So, it is all about you, right, and all are right. It is not something that you speak in the favor of it, you can go against, just need to have your own perspective. The next is you should cut down your opponent, means just you have that much of knowledge that you are not allowing anyone, or he is feeling so ashamed in front of you, because he feels you are just criticizing him like anything. Gentlemen, it is not the discussion in the parliament where the opposition comes and every time they criticize the ruling party. We are not like that politician here. You are here, a gentleman, where you are discussing very important topic, where you feel it, then it is right or wrong, but you are gracefully addressing the points, rather going very aggressively, you know, berating your opponent. So, you should not cut down your opponent in that sense. The next is that you should, right, make other agreed on a point, if they are, because they are able to get agreed, it is good, if they are not, let it be, but you are making your point, and not every one of them can get agreed, some of them can get agreed, that is enough for you, okay. Not everyone should be. So, you should be individually speaker, not, this is not a lecturate, this is a discussion, every person should participate equally, and you should project yourself in a style, there is no style at all, you are, you know, seated in very graceful manner, you are not allowed to shake your hand, raise your hands, use the finger and anything else, right. So, you know that how to discuss that, okay, and it is a practical conduct. I am just trying to give you here, when you discuss in front of me, then I can highlight that how you are doing it, okay, because there is a limitation, right. So, I think so in basic series we know that we have covered the group discussion. The next further thing is group planning exercise or military planning. Here it goes, and how it is conducted. First, you know that this is the military chart or some kind of map is there. So, you know, you all are given or seated in that row, and this is called military planning. So, it is a second indoor task, and we it is not indoor task actually, but there is a shade, so they call it indoor, and consists of situational problem. So, you must have seen a lot of situation in SRTs. Those SRTs are put in this map now, and then you are being assigned to solve them, having nice discussion with your friends. Okay. So, first time emphasis on team endeavor. In group discussion, there was a competition of your ideas. Here all of the member will give their different plans, and you have to come up with the common plan. So, all the member having common objective to draft the one plan, and then you have to give it to the GTO. So, that means you have common objective. If the common objective is there, that means there is a team endeavor, and we will see that how it is being executed. So, there will be purposeful discussion, because you know that you have to highlight the problem, then you have to highlight the resources, what are the resources you can assume, then there will be discussion right on that how the plan should go, and everything is there. There is a purpose for the discussion, that is why we call it purposeful discussion here. So, let us see that how the stages are there. So, group planning exercise is to create the interdependent interaction and promotively in a social situation. It means that the problems are there, and different gentlemen have different ideas, and those ideas are merged together to form the one idea, right. And if you do not actually interact with each other, and you are trying to force your ideas on others, it is not the way the situation is discussed here. It is not the group discussion, it is a discussion for the group planning exercise or military planning exercise. Why the situation is there, that you will be assigned a certain job in the battlefield, and you have troop, and some of them are really experienced. If your JCO like Havaldar gives you very valuable point, and without hearing it, you are just cutting him down and not knowing it, because you have the authority and you want to enforce your plan, it is not the way to make the proper strategy for that situation. You have to hear each and every one what is right for the group. If somebody speaks sense, then you have to agree on it, and then bring those ideas in the common situation or common plan. So, how the conduct is there, this is the beauty of SSB. Everything is already briefed by the GTO. You will not be given any kind of impromptu work, and he will brief you everything. The gentleman, this is the conduct of it, and that is how you have to do it. So, there will be proper briefing, and after that the 5 stages are there in the military planning. So, what are those 5 stages? First thing, there will be introduction to the model. So, model means a map. So, he will give you very simple map. It is not the map of military, which is very difficult to decipher, like of navies, the stars are given, or you must have seen the map in the Air Force, that kind of topography is not there. So, it simply means that the model will be very easy to understand, and I will give you that map, so you can understand better. Okay. But GTO will come, he will highlight everything that what is there in the map. Okay. After that, he will read the document, and he will read it loud, so all of you can understand that. So, this reading of narrative actually helps you to correlate the information with the map. Once it is done, then you are provided actually that sheet. So, you can read by own, and for that 5 minutes are given strictly, right, not more than that. Then the paper is submitted, then you are provided a sheet, blank sheet. So, you have to write your own solution, and for that they will give you enough time like 10 minutes. Once you written the entire plan, the plan is submitted to the GTO, and after that you have nice discussion, and once you have the discussion and you come up with the common plan, then you give that plan to the GTO by nominating any person from your group, and the person should be confident enough. Okay. So, you all are seated in the same sitting pattern like in group discussion, but there will be the map. So, it may be arc arrangement or maybe semicircle or circle. Okay. So, listen that we are going to proceed to the first part of it, that is introduction to the model. Introduction to the model, that certain details are there. The details are very clear to understand, And first see that how the details are mentioned, means each and every color will have some meaning, and those things you have to keep in mind. It can be different in your GTO or it can be different in your SSB. So, do not cram it blindly, okay. Have quite wisdom that what is there. So, if I assure you that this is the Panipur reservoir, this is the military exercise you have, and I am introducing the entire map. So, this is Panipur reservoir, it will be wooden over there, will not be that kind of graphical. So, it is a Panipur reservoir, this is the Pani river and this is the Panipur dam. So, everything is related to this Panipur river. Okay. The next thing you can see, there is a fort, and that fort is here, that is Shola fort. This is the Shola fort, and here you can see the dotted line is actually non-metallic road, or you can say the Pagdandi. Okay. And here you can say this is the Dhava, and after this you can see the details here of the river, and this is the metallic road. So, that means the red, hard red color here is indicating the metallic road. So, if the one dotted line is there, single Pagdandi, if this double dotted line is there, double Pagdandi, means this is non-metallic road, but you can drive the vehicle. If the single metallic road is there, you can drive only cycle and motorcycle, or you can walk. Okay. And here you can see, so Panipur dam is connected to the Dhava, but it is non-metallic and single Pagdandi, and there we go. So, this is again metallic road connecting the Panipur dam to the certain place like Golar. This is the Gola village, which is 25 km from here, and here you can see Basti, which is 20 km further from here. The next thing that you can see, that is the blocks. It means one block is equal to 1 kilometer, or there it can be written 2 centimeter equal to 1 kilometer. Okay, so, that actually a scale you have to keep in mind while measuring, but they will not give you any kind of the tools to measure it. You have to assume it and then make the hypothesis and convince it. It should not be like the 300 kilometer, it is not, but in the round figure you can bring the assumptions there. Next is, this is the N, means this is the north direction. If it is north, you know this is the east, west, and there is south. So, according to the direction you have to move, like you are here, if you are moving over there. So, what is your direction? How many kilometers will it take to reach Golapur, right? What is the speed of your vehicle? So, these all things you have to keep, and this map will be there on the right in front of you. So, you can assess the information, or you can corroborate the information. Next is narrative. So, you see this narrative is important, because I can't bring the both things together, but here you can see. So, I will read it loud for you. So, you are a group of students, as many as you are, like you are a 10 group member. So, that means 10 men are there. If you are 8 member or 8 member in the group, that means there are 8. So, you got to be serious for this line, as many as you are. If he gives you, you are 10 member, so that means you are a 10 member, maybe you are 6 here. Okay. So, coming from a friend farmhouse, going going to visit the Shola fort in a Gola district on a jeep. So, you having one jeep, and you have to return for a campfire by 7:30. You are having tea at the dhaba when you saw a car coming which slowed down in front of the dhaba, and you noticed a man being thrown out of the car, and the car raced ahead. Being curious, you all went to the man and found him seriously injured with the head bleeding. On being helped, he told you that he was a chief engineer of the Panipur dam, returning from his headquarters at the Gola after a conference. He said that 2 armed personnel, after hijacking his car, took away the confidential design plan and photographs of the dam and pushed him out of the car. He had heard them talking that they would sell the plan to the foreigners at the some fort at 6 p.m. You know that only one fort was there, that was Shola fort. So, that they are talking about Shola. He also told you that he had the key of the control system of the dam in his pocket, and the flow was to be regulated latest by 4:30 p.m. else it may cause flood. he fainted thereafter. Just then you saw few tourists walking to you, and they told you that they were coming from Basti and their van had broken down nearby, and since there was no means of communication there, they could not get help from anywhere. They were to reach the Sanu by 5 p.m. to see the special cultural program. A truck driver relaxing at the dhaba told you that he had seen the car turn towards the Kacha track. Time now 4 p.m. What will you do? So, and after this, the situation is a little bit intense, boys. And after this situation, the same document is given to you for 5 minutes. So, the first situation you all have recognized. The first was medical help to the chief engineer, because he needs medical assistance, and because he was thrown out, actually he needs to be hospitalized. First you have to give him first aid, and second you have to hospitalize him. So, there are two work there with this only one assignment. After this, delivery of control system key to the Panipur dam, this is the second. So, you have to visit to the dam and then you have to deliver the key. This is the second situation. The third situation we have recovery of the confidential design plan and photographs of the dam. So, you have to take a little bit dynamic here. You are 10 member here, you are on camping, that means you are adventurous guys. You can't just rely on the authorities that they will come and then it will be solved. If they are to solve everything, then why the situation is given to you? You have to take enough measurements to retrieve the plan, right? And once it is done, the red herring means you should not use red herring, it is a SSB term, but least priority work, which you think that okay, we are having very important work here, but what about this actually pesky work? Should I focus on that? Yes, you cannot leave anything right behind. So, of the tourists to the special cultural program, you have to arrange some transportation for them. So, there are 4 works are there for you, and for that you have to, after recognizing these also, you have to note down in your sheet. Then you have to find the resources. Some resources are obviously given, directly given, like there were 10 men as you remember are, okay, and after that there was also a jeep. So, the jeep was there, you know the police at Gola, because it is a district headquarters, obviously you cannot assume it. Have you ever assumed there is a district headquarter and there is no police headquarter? No, of course not. I will say you having lack of knowledge, that means, or medical, right, there will be proper actually hospital at the Gola. So, these are obviously given, but something is not given. So, those are hidden in that entire situation, which you have to bring out, and there the candidate proved very strong. One is the truck is there, actually it is given over there, obviously. The cycle at the dhaba, of course there will be some, because some people come for the tea, and repair and a facility at the dhaba, because you know that there is always some kind of puncture shop. So, you can fix the deflated tire. Security vehicle at the Panipur dam, there will be some security, because you know that this is the central government property and it is protected by the CISF, and not by the CISF, then there will be enough arrangement for that. Okay. Medical facility and the Sanu and Basti, and traffic on Basti Gola. So, the traffic police is there, they will trace down the miscreants. So, after that you have to note down your own plan, and because if we start discussing the plan, it will further take 35 minutes. So, I am just leaving it on you, so you can note down and you can discuss it. Okay. And for further details, I need your presence. Next is what are the values. After having all the discussion, once you start discussing, because the discussion point we have already discussed, okay, that how do you have to make everyone convinced, and the first task of the GTO. Here we are talking that the ability to think constructively and imaginatively. The task is very difficult for you, and now you are calculating it, because this is the only unique work you must have not seen in your entire life, because this is the military planning exercise. There is not the kind of military work is there for you. You are not assigned any IQ-47 to retrieve the stuff, but we want that military spirit in you, the way you tackle it, the way you make the strategy. There we are checking the military actually in you actually. Okay. The next is ability to grasp situation both in detail as a whole. Once the reading out and the reading is there, then everything is in your mind, just like everything is intact. If you miss any information, you are just killing yourself then. Objectivity in views, the way you speak, everything is coherent and it is without any doubt, it is accepted. If at this point we have discussed that if somebody gives any better plan, accept it and then go for that. Goodwill towards other people means that when you were drafting, you didn't leave that red herring, you also cared about that, and brought a lot of group member into the discussion. And ability to convince, how will you convince? That is what the logic will sound. And ability to cooperate, if somebody tells again same thing, because I give some point, second person, third point, and you bringing all the chest number in a one row and then drafting the plan. Okay, planning and organizing. So you keep summarizing the plan in the end. So this is the entire part of the group planning exercise. It's a very vivid exercise, and I can tell you that if you are able to complete these two, you will entirely impress the GTO as well as the candidates. And here you have the opportunity. And third task is very, very important, boys, because why? Because we know that this task is considered is mother of all outdoor tasks. Individual obstacle requires a physical, actually, physical strength, but progressive group task can make you well prepared for the half group task, file group task, and command task. So progressive group task is not only one task, it's a proper reasoning or proper learning the outdoor activities. You must have heard when we talk about GTO, we don't even, nothing comes in your mind like you will do group discussion or group planning exercise. Only one thing comes in mind, balli, fatta and rassi, right? And those tiny, very complex structures are laid in different formations. That is what the progressive group task. But the same concept is applied on half group task, file group task and command task. So if you learn well PGT, you will be good at doing other or rest of the three tasks. Okay, and the fourth task in the basic series is group obstacle race. So I think so we are running out of time, but I'll highlight a little bit that how our PGT works. Okay, so general guidelines that how we continue the session for the progressive group task. See that the other structures are having different colors, the gentleman having certain load, plank, right, I think so log somebody hiding, chest number 1 is hiding the log, there is a log, and they are proceeding for a certain work. So this is the entire work. What is there in progressive group task is the first outdoor task. So it's not to be remembered, but a set of 4 obstacles means PGT is not one task, it is 4 PGTs are there, PGT 1, PGT 2, PGT 3 and PGT 4. All are in progressive nature. We know that this is progressive group task. Progressive means that once you complete PGT 1, then you will progress for PGT 2, then PGT 3, then PGT 4, right. So that's why it's called the set of 4 tasks, and difficulty increases once you progress, or difficulty level increases progressively. So PGT 1 will be the easiest one, and PGT 4 will be the toughest one. Next is time limit is 40 minutes, and I can assure you boys that if you do not cooperate and you do not have the essence of team, you won't be able to reach till PGT 4. And it's not about reaching the 4 or completing the all 4 PGTs, it's all about the manner in which you are participating in the entire process and the role you played in the entire juncture that we want to know. There will be some rules to be followed, and you have to keep in mind there will be 4 rules, and what are the rules that will be giving you. There will be some helping material. So helping material like that you can see, this is plank, rope and log. These kind of 3 supporting material can be given. There can be 2 plank or 2 log without rope, there will be 2 rope, 2 plank without log. So it is just according to the ground, as GTO designed the ground for a different purpose. So he will give you accordingly, and there will be load. So load can be a camper, can be a can be anything, or can be just a box. Okay, it can be filled with fluid, okay, not with the petrol. So PGT having the 4 stages. Okay, so this is PGT 1. Suppose that you all are sitting here or standing here, and you have to progress right here. Then after this, what comes next? PGT 2. Then you have to come here from the starting line to finish line. Once you come here, then PGT 3 starts. okay, and after completing here, then PGT 4 starts. And you have to reach, all of you, right here. That is the work, and it is to be achieved if you have with your teammates. Listen that this is the starting line and this is the finish line. Okay. So, here is the finish line. So, once you start from here and you end up here. So, this is the starting line, this is the finish line. Okay. And once you all are members are standing right there, and you have to reach here by using certain kind of structures. Once you reach here, then the second progression starts, and then third, then fourth, and then right your exercise ends here. So, you can see this is the starting line and there will be finish line, and these are the structures you have to use. The ground is out of bound for you, the ground is not to be touched as long as you operate in the PGT. So, what are the rules of the PGT? So, PGT is having major 4 rules. First is group rule, the second is color rule, and you know that because there will be some color. As you can see the colors here, like black, not black is not there, white, and second is blue, and this is red. The next is rule of distance, rule of rigidity, and rule of infinity. I will define the rule today, tomorrow we shall have the activity of entire process. So, group rule. So, group means if you remember this line, you can understand what is the meaning of group rule. It means swim together or sink together. It means the group will swim across the entire PGT, or not a single member will go there. If one member is stuck, the group is still there. It means the group is the primary factor here. So, when you know that these soldiers were there in Kargil, if they have left only one member, the entire troop could have retreated? No, the entire troop would kept fighting for only one man. That is the meaning here. If you feel it in PGT, one man is left in the starting line and you are not able to bring it back, it simply means still the task is not undone, right. So, there is a saying in the Navy that swim together or sink together, right. Next, we talk about the color rule. So, there are 3 colors, that is white, blue, and red. As we can see, these 2 gentlemen right just hanging out here, and this is the situation here. This is what we call it hurdle or obstacle, and it is painted blue, this is white. So, blue is permitted for living, means you can stand on it. White can be used for the living and for the non-living also. Non-living means your supporting material, but on blue color you cannot put the supporting material. You cannot tie the rope here, but you can tie the rope on white color. Red is out of bound for everything, you can't even touch it, okay, not even the supporting material. Distance rule, you all know that you having quite physical caliber, you start jumping from one place to another place and you think that I can jump as much as I can, but it is not, it is prohibited certain, like the 4 feet is allowed to jump. So, 4 feet means you cannot jump more than 4 feet, that is the meaning of distance rule, okay. It is a practical work, but you have to keep in mind. Second is rule of rigidity. Rigidity means first we learn that what are the supporting materials are there. Supporting material, like we have plank, rope, and log. So, there are 2 solid stuff and one is tying part. If you start tying 2 together rigidly, you are violating the rule of rigidity, something like that. If you do that, it is against the rule. So, what is it? It is strictly prohibited. So, you do not have to tie the 2 solid material together while operating in the entire PGT, or it is applicable to the rest of the 3 activities, like in command task, like in SGT, or even in the file group task, all or even the PGT. And 4 tasks, these rules are applicable, nothing changes there. The next is about important part, rule of infinity, right. I think so, the infinity comes, the one thing comes in your mind, that is the Avengers, Infinity War. I think the one of the marvelous movie of the Marvel, but we are not talking about it all. We are talking about that we have this PGT, and in PGT you know that you all are standing right here, and what is your objective? Objective is to reach here on the finish line. So, do you think that I can go from here to here? No, this line ends infinite, that is why it is called infinity. The rule of infinity means you can't cross or take the shortcut. This is only possible way to reach on that part. So, choose this one. So, these are the rules that you have to keep in mind, and we will continue our session of the PGT right on the next day, and I will complete the entire GTO part. Then after that you will have the interview part. Okay. So, signing off.